Hey guys, what's going on? One PC here from Smashboards. This video interview is brought to you by Smashboards, the number one website for the Smash community, number one website for Smash news, tournaments, and discussions. So my guest today is one of the most influential people and casters in the Smash 4 community as of now. Very knowledgeable about the game and very passionate what he does. So my guest today is none other than 2GG's Bam. So, hope you guys enjoy this interview. Stay tuned.
Hi, my name is 2GG Bam, obviously, and been with 2GG since they've pretty much started into the Smash 4 scene. But in terms of 2GG, a lot of people actually don't know this, but 2GG is actually pretty old. A lot older than a lot of people know. It actually existed back in the Brawl and Melee days in SoCal, and the primary reason why it came to be is because the two co-founders, Champ and JMX, they pretty much saw there was an issue in SoCal. There weren't that many tournaments. There weren't properly run tournaments, and a lot of things were dying down. If you're anyone from a Brawlhead way back then, you understood that like when you were looking for videos for Brawl, more likely than not, you'd probably find them on like East Coast videos or maybe European videos. Like when it came to West Coast, everyone knew us as people like we didn't have any videos, and if we did have videos, it was trash quality, right? It was like potato quality. It was just
Right.
really, really bad. So, 2G tried to step in and rectify that, and especially during a down period where they had kind of like even in Melee, they called it kind of the dark years. Melee was kind of falling off. People thought Melee was just going to die. They just thought the Smash was going to die, especially in SoCal in general. And he was able to have these tournaments, and it was able to pick up Melee and Brawl, and pretty much be there to make sure it was on. Pretty much like had it on life support until we ended up going into Evo and whatnot. And then of course, our scene started to blossom again. So that's where it started. So I actually met Champ way, way before then, just very briefly. Didn't really talk too much, but we had a mutual friend, this guy Reggie. So, fast forward to when Smash 4 came out, I was working with Reggie on another company trying to like work on and build the scene, all these things. There's different things that I felt that had to be done differently, and so I had Champ, because we both have that mutual friend. Champ and I sat down and discussed some things. We talked about what needs to be done. How can we better the SoCal scene, and how can we help Smash 4 as a whole? How can we help them about storylines? How can we help about just like general history of the game? How can we help in terms of bettering players and stuff too? And just having like great tournaments overall. So we just all got together, and ended up coming back. I joined on the team, and then we just kind of built it from there. And yeah, I mean that's pretty much where like you see where 2GG is. But yeah, I mean it was like I said before, like pretty much the whole reason for 2G kind of being there is because there was a need in SoCal at the time to pretty much like preserve the community, because things were dying out for numerous reasons. Back in the old days, and even start for Smash 4 was kind of laying low, and there was a lot of crazy super bad tournaments and stuff too. And so again, that's why 2G kind of stepped into the light. But yeah, I mean that's where we started, man. That's kind of like where we started from now, where people know us.
Yeah, most people from I guess the quote unquote new gens don't really know the history behind 2GG.
Mhm.
Most people think that 2GG is like, oh, they've always been a Smash like one of the most like popular stream. Well, is one of the most popular streams in Smash, and always has been. But they don't really know the origins. I did did some research the other day,
Mhm.
and I'm finding vids from like 10 years ago, from like
Yeah, yeah.
2006, 2010.
Mhm.
And you guys go all the way back from Brawl, especially from Melee, as you said,
Right.
as you iterated earlier.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's really surprising that 2GG has like such an extensive background, and a pretty much a backbone of the SoCal Smash scene.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, it's a lot of people just don't know of it. They think that we're just like some mysterious organization that just kind of sprouted out of nowhere and just came to
Right.
prominence and stuff too. But a lot of us have been in like the crux of the SoCal scene for a very long time. I mean, even you can ask players like Mango and stuff too about 2GG or Champ, and they know of them because they know the tournaments way back when. They know the dark times that happened. So yeah, we've been here for a very very long time. This time, I think it's just now more so. It's kind of extended past trying to just kind of preserve SoCal, and now it's become like not only blossoming SoCal's talent and the scene as a whole, but also trying to do so not just for our scene, but for places in the U.S., places in Mexico, Japan, wherever we can kind of help and build the community as a whole. That's what we're trying to do, and that's really what TGG is trying to accomplish.
Right, and I think the execution that you guys are doing is excellent. I mean, I can definitely see GGG going out to like the more global standpoint
Mhm.
in terms of Smash. Um, so let's get to know you just a little bit, Bam. So let's start off with your Smash beginnings. How were you introduced to Smash?
So pretty much in Smash, I ended up starting off Smash like of course, everyone they played with their friends, did all these things, and so I way back when actually used to play like a lot like Street Fighter, like that's really what kind of I gravitated to a long, long time ago when I was younger. Go to the arcade, and there's some people who like later on I found out were pretty like damn good, and that were actually in the early competitive scene. They like some people like kind of taught me in that regard. I was frequent on Shoryuken and trying to find out tech and all these kind of things, and then I got busy with school and everything like that. At the time, I was trying to chase medicine, so I was doing that, and then I had my friends would always beat me in melee all the time. And I was like, I'm tired of losing to these guys. The next Smash game comes out, I'm gonna be the best. I'm gonna beat them all. And so, I found Smashboards and started looking there and started researching stuff, and couldn't really find there were some things that are like decent amount of tech around, but I thought there were certain things that hadn't been looked at. So myself just kind of coming from that science background, and it's like someone who's just like kind of eager to learn. I just like a life learner. I love doing that stuff and trying to figure out new tech, and for anything. I ended up going in and kind of like trying to figure out like frame data stuff, kind of like these frame traps. Is what can we do with this priority system in terms of like option selects, all those kind of things.
Right.
Ran into our friend Souza, who was a Snake main, and he's the one who actually, for any of those brawl guys out there, he's one of the people who first made the down throw tech chase list as to like figure out how characters roll, and then which ones are reactable, which ones aren't, which ones have the best ones. Certain mix-ups you can go from there. So I assisted him with that, and he brought me to my first tournament. And I did my first tournament in SoCal, and at the Midwest House, which is a place that would have a ton of tournaments there. And from there, I just kind of just started going more and more and more, and I realized like, hey, I guess I'm not that bad. I think sometimes people go to tournaments and they assume like their first tournament, they're like, dude, I'm the best. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna beat everyone. But I had friends who were already kind of in competitive gaming for a bit, so I understood that it was gonna be a different world. I understood that there's gonna be so much talent, so many different things that I can even perceive going into it. But yeah, that was in, I would say, 2000, 2009. So 2009 is when I officially kind of entered the competitive scene, as far as Smash.
Nice. So, like, you had a different experience than other beginning players. I usually get stories that I went 2-0. I got super bodied in my first
Mm.
tournament matches, and your experience. How's your experience like in the tournament setting? Like, how were you? What kind of emotions were going through you?
I think that for me, like I said, I came at it from a more kind of I want to learn the game standpoint. I want to figure out what can be done with this system. I mean, it seems super cool, seems so unique, and again, kind of coming from my my standard background, not just like in terms of academia, but also in terms of just the fighting games that I used to play. I'm like, man, this is such a cool concept. Like, what can I figure out at this percent and that percent and all these things. So, I never usually felt too much. I feel like sometimes, like again, people start off earlier on. You may be kind of upset. You have that, you get salty and all those kind of things. I feel like I wasn't as salty initially as most players because it was more so just like I want to get better. If I win, then great. But I was kind of looking at like what can I learn from this person because everyone has certain tech or certain like idiosyncrasies, just tendencies that you could utilize and potentially could be something good. Maybe it's something that can inspire you to figure out new tech and stuff too. So I think that kind of coming from that standpoint, I was always excited when I was going at tournaments. I mean, of course, you get that adrenaline running as well. And I was also, an athlete. I was good running. I had some scholarships for different colleges, like in Arizona, when I was like, I was doing in high school and whatnot. So I was looking at it. Also, it was cool because fighting games gave you that feeling, that sense of like urgency. You need to figure out something right now, or that opportunity window is gone. Or when you finally get that read on that person and you were able to have that connection and like you just feel so great. You get that hype. You feel all those things, and so all those things are what kept drawing me back and back to these tournaments, and just to see how other people reacted in those situations. I always thought that was fascinating.
It's great. It's a really great mindset and really great way to see the competitive scene. So let's fast forward a couple years. At what point did you join the 2GG team? I know you previously said that you met Champ, but around what time frame was that?
Yeah, so that would be in pretty much, I would say, 2014. Like, and yeah, probably end of 2014 or like early 2015 was when we actually sat down and started talking about kind of like him coming back, 2GG coming back, and also like me kind of assisting in that. And I think that we did some little stuff here and there, and I think that it was really the iPi Power event that we had, Esports Arena, and being able to work with them because they had like some huge CS:GO tournament. They allowed us to have an event there, and iPi Power like just loved us. But that was like I think the major event where I was fully like on a team, kind of like working in the background and helping and doing all these kind of things too. So yeah, I would say that that was definitely the time where like I really was full on board with 2GG and everything.
Really great experience. So as I said in the beginning of Smash 4, 2GG wasn't a really dominant Smash stream. You could basically kind of like the rest of the Smash regions. So what currently makes 2GG like significant above the rest and other Smash streams? What's that little flair that 2GG provides for the Smash community?
I would say probably right now one of the great things that I think that we pride ourselves in is for our events, we run them fairly efficiently. And I think that still to this day, we have a lot of major like Smash tournaments right now that still aren't run nearly as such. Like usually when you're a Smasher and you go to a tournament, you think, okay, well, I'm going to leave this tournament at like 5 a.m. You know what I mean? Then like, and you literally just spend a day and a half for a tournament. And we realized, no, there's better ways of going about these things. Like that needs to be shifted. So I think first things first for us is like efficiency there. I think the second thing is we generally try to give incentives to help out in the community, be it things for carpool services, always trying to dock people off and encourage people to carpool, trying to encourage Smash Fest for players. Also, as myself, like I try to go around and we try to help players just get better and stuff too. So if there's any players that have any questions or any ideas and need to be connected with other players, they can come to me, they can come to any one of the staff, and they can be assisted. And I think that even just in general, my knowledge about the game is probably, probably in the upper echelon, I would say, out of like all the kind of people who like, trying to invest their time in this game, just like to bare bones knowledge of the game mechanics and whatnot. And so that allows me also to assist people in other ways that may not be available in another region and whatnot. So things like that, we try to help them so everyone can feel like they're, they're getting better, they're improving. They don't hit a wall and just be like, oh man, like what do I do next to get better? So we try to assist with that, and also the history involved. Even though people may not know in terms of our whole history and whatnot, like you said earlier, I think one main thing that we try to do as Shuji is we try to celebrate the history of Smash as a whole, and doing things like our sagas, like doing stuff in terms of players and why they're important, why they're incredible. Talking about Mexico Saga, talk about this region and why this region's so talented. You have so much talent there that is very underrepresented. When you look at our Twitch streams and whatnot, even just like Qatar, trying to celebrate that. Qatar, just what Qatar was doing for that New Jersey community, all those times, something that's harkened all the way back to Brawl and like, Melee and all these kind of things. So we try to bring in that general history. So when someone tunes into a 2GGT event, people are seeing a bit of history. So it's not just, oh, I'm watching a SoCal event. I'm watching an event that's going to have players from other regions as well. You're going to have top level talent. We have a lot of character diversity out here in SoCal, and you're also going to get a little history. And we want people to leave the stream, knowing that much more about the community as a whole and appreciating the community that much more as a whole. And I think that's one of the major things that kind of sets us apart, because people may say this all the time, like, oh, we're for the community. Like, no, we really generally try to be our best for the community. A lot of us right now, we don't make like super ton of money or anything like that really off 2GG. We all have our kind of, our daytime jobs and all the other things that we're doing in our lives. And we try to put all that money towards just solely 2GG. And that's allowed us to kind of, have 2GG grants and bring players from, to here, or even, take some of our players and allow them to go to other regions and stuff so they can be represented out there, and other regions can get another taste of like other players and, again, character diversity, all those kind of things. And so it's something that is a win-win for everyone. So, I mean, yeah, I think those are the major things that 2G is able to give right now. And I think that's what sets us apart.
Right, definitely. Like the events that you guys stream and host are like at the uttermost quality. Like it's even regarded that some of your events are considered like up to like majors per se.
Mm-hmm.
Now touching on the subject on your events and sagas, where did the idea originate to start the whole saga series and stuff? Dedicate a whole tournament event to a specific player.
I think that's something that we've always kind of had in mind when it came to sagas. It was just something where it's like, we sat down and we didn't want to just do just a tournament. Yeah, we can run a official tournament. That's great. But because not everyone is going to have an opportunity or to make it in the money. And that's just something that's generally going to happen. You're going to have only like 10% of the competitive Smash community who's actually making it in the money. The rest of these people, even less than 10%, honestly. But you're just going to have the rest of the people where they're, you're going to be there for an event. And if you go 0-2, if you go like, 3-2 or whatever, should the event just end for you? Is that just like the experience and then you just got to watch the players? And we thought to ourselves, like, no, there should be something more for them, not just to watch these great players play, but something that can really feel special, something they can be super excited about, so they can know that they can, as a viewer, you're getting all these great matches, but you're getting a special event and you're getting these things that you normally wouldn't even see, an opportunity that you normally want to get, that you have to be there. And the event is always unique in that sense, because it's not like I can be like, oh, well, I missed the 2GGT, so I'm just going to go to the next one. I mean, obviously you're not going to be able to go to all of them, but everyone is going to have a distinct feel and a distinct experience. And we do that intentionally because we want it to be a way that there's always going to be something new and unique, and something that these players can look forward to, not just the viewers, but also the players who are, there locally. And that's where the idea from the sagas came from, to just have that kind of unique feature for every single event that we do, and to have something special to not just celebrate, because obviously we're celebrating these players, but then also it's kind of, like I said, a celebration of the community. And so we have to take in consideration the viewers or the people who go there, who play the game competitively, but they're competitors / spectators, right? So we have to also take that into account. And so that's why we do the sagas the way that we do.
Nice, definitely. Yeah, it's really great that you guys take the time and effort to dedicate such like quality, as I said earlier, into these events, into these sagas, and we appreciate them. So I want to say
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much
Thank you, man.
for making them, for keeping them as entertaining as they are. So moving on. Earlier this recently, there was a tweet about TGG disbanding and possibly canceling the Zero Saga. How did you and as a team, help each other go past this problem and stuff, or
I
this I'm sorry, this
right.
what I have oh yeah, overcome this problem. I'm sorry.
Right. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. So I would say that pretty much it was kind of one of those things where again, and I think that this is something that we also recognize that to some extent can be an issue also on our side, and we have to look at all the perspectives out there. But pretty much a lot of people felt that like, oh well, 2GG it seems like they're always trying to plan events, over this event. They're always trying to conflict, and they're taking away from other regions, and thus like people were saying, oh, 2GG is like killing Smash 4. And again, like I said before, one of the major things that we always try to look at is we're trying to look at growing the scene as a whole, like, and we genuinely mean that, and that's why we try to try to interact with these other scenes. That's why we're able to go and sponsor like Homer Carey and then actually try to take them out to different places and all the things too, and have a full-fledged sponsorship there. That's why we try to do in 2GG grants where we send players to other places and have other players come here. And we want to have that connection. We want to have that interactions with all these types of regions. So when people say those kind of things, that's definitely something that like we struggle with, because if we hear those things, we're like, damn, man, like, so what? We have to look back and reflect on ourselves and like, is this really what we're doing? Like, why do people perceive that? And what can we do to change that perception? And what can we do just to make it kind of better for everyone else? So I think that we all kind of just sat down. When you're growing and you're growing exponentially, people are going to find reasons to be upset at you, be angry at you, hate at you, all those kind of things. That's just happens. That's just a process, right? So yeah, very unfortunately. So we just, we sat down, we talked about it, and we discussed and wanted to make sure. I think Champ at the time, he felt that he was getting a lot of that hate and stuff too, because the way that we've organized 2GG, even though there's a collective, you kind of have like executive members like myself and of course the other co-founder JMX and his fiance and stuff too, where we all kind of talk about these things collectively. We made it kind of in a way where it's like, okay, well, people can talk to Champ, and then we can discuss things together, and the Champ can talk to them, all those kind of things. So Champ would have those interactions with those other people, and it was something that was upsetting. So again, like I said, we sat down, we talked about it, we discussed it, and we tried to be better about in terms of having our schedule out there and having that kind of transparency, because we are aware that that could be part of the issue at hand as well. And we just said, all right, well, people are going to hate, so we got to keep doing what we're doing, man. We can't allow that to stop us, because that's could be more and more, as days go by. But we generally feel that for the most part, there's people out there who love us and appreciate what we do. So, we're doing it for them. We got to appreciate them and build it up for them. So we can't let them down. So.
Right, definitely. I mean, when I heard the news that, you guys were still going to keep on doing the sagas and still continue on doing what you guys doing, continue the 2GG organize operations, it was such a relief, because you guys are, I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but like a really major influence to other Smash scenes across the world. Because let's take an example from my region. We have SU, Smash United.
Yes.
And we try to up the quality as much as possible. And having influential streams such as 2GG and other notable streams around the world is really great. As you said, we're trying to build Smash globally and trying to build it up as a community as a whole. So it's really nice to take ideas from each other and share it, so we can have something for the community and provide the something meaningful.
Yeah.
So again, I appreciate you guys continuing operations and stuff. So going back to the subject of Zero Saga,
Yeah.
how is the Zero Saga different from like the rest of them? I know it's celebrating the 1 year anniversary
Mhm.
of 2GGs. So what are some things that we can expect from the event?
I mean, obviously, there's going to be like super incredible talent. We're going to be in Vegas, and of course, there's been events in Vegas in the past, but I don't think at this magnitude and at this scale. And what we are looking at in terms of Zero Saga, also we're doing work in terms of having a clear and concise analyst desk. We're doing with Panda Global and Unrivaled Tournaments. They're helping us, so shout out to those guys as well. And we're looking to have pretty much give people a peek of what Smash 4 should look like, in terms of esports and whatnot, moving on forward into 2017. And it's also a glimpse of just what 2G has in store, because they're just going to be, greater and greater events that we're going to be working on. And this is really the start of kind of having these, higher level, higher production kind of events as well too. And we're showing that, okay, we're ready to grow even more so. I'm ready to help out even more so and do what we do. So I think besides, of course, the talent and the matches that are going to be there, we want to have top level talent across the board. That's why we enlisted Pinnacle. That's why we enlisted Unrivaled Tournament and try to work with them and build this up in terms of like the analyst desk and stuff. That's why we worked with the people in terms of the collegiate system that they're doing. And if have these kind of smashers and kind of build that up as esports, especially because we are near UCI esports. They've taken a big step for esports in terms of college campuses and whatnot, so that's something that's really dear to us too, in terms of having a college system in which people can actually look at Smash now, but like as an official esport, and that's part of the factors in that. So we want to build this event up as much as we can. We want people to understand the importance of it and moving forward, if just for next generation of smashers. And yeah, like I said, it's gonna be insane, man. Like it's gonna be like it is just gonna be so much talent there, and like it's just gonna be a beautiful end to 2016 and what we've accomplished. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be sick.
So true, definitely.
Yeah.
This tournament is super stacked. You have
Yeah.
top talent coming in from Japan,
Mhm.
top talent coming in from like across the United States. You have
Yeah.
Komori Kiri, Kamimushi,
Mhm.
Abadango,
Mhm.
the best characters of their mains. You got
Mhm.
Ally, you have Nairo, and
Mhm.
it's so crazy. Like I'm even hyped up just even thinking about it right now.
Yeah.
Honestly. So like touching back on the top talent, let's touch on Komori Kiri. So congratulations on grabbing Komori Kiri as
Thank you.
a top
Appreciate it,
tier
man.
player.
Appreciate it.
Very smart choice. So what made Komori Kiri such a perfect candidate to have on the team?
I mean, I think that so when we had him down here for Abadago Saga, one of the main things as well, I didn't really touch on it so much when we were discussing the sagas earlier, but one of the main things too that we try to do with these sagas, we try to do this because we also want to showcase these players for sponsorships and stuff as well. So when you have Abadango Saga, we were celebrating this player. It's like, wow, who's this player that's so good and so talented and so influential that they can have their own saga named after him. Maybe I need to look into picking up this free agent. So these are another aspects, of trying to have this in terms of esports and having it in a way where people can make a living off this. And so, we had Abadango here, and then we also had Komura Kiri, and like we love the guy, and he's so talented and so skilled. Like the way that he plays, like is just so clean to watch, and he's so efficient. And we have a lot of players in SoCal who are like fans of his play. Larry, good friend of mine, like all the time we always talk when we're chilling and we're talking about it, like he's like, man, that Komori Sonic, I like that. I'm about that. He loves it. He loves it. I know some people might get upset because it's Sonic, but he loves it, man. And he loves the efficiency in his play. Just a really clean, beautiful footsies, man. His timings and all stuff like that as well. And he's very modest and honest guy, So we want to showcase that talent. We want to say like, dude, this guy is absolutely incredible. People need to be looking at just Japan as a whole and be looking at Komuro Carey like, dude, this guy is talented. So that's kind of where we were with that. Again, it's something that not only is Komuro Carey an incredible person and a amazing player, but it's also he is now another representative of an amazing region in Japan, who again, despite all their players doing really well and people looking at them a bit more, streams like Shy Gaming and stuff like that still don't get nearly enough credit as they should. There's so many crazy players there, man. It's hilarious sometimes when we don't look at those kind of influences, like what they've found and what kind of tech they're looking at, and it would push our meta and it would push everyone's meta if people would just put more eyes on Japan, and we want them to be represented well. We know that a lot of those players out there, they're hard at work and they want to do well, they want to be something. And if this is something that they do want to take in and do something for a living, then we have to give them the avenue, the exposure to do so. So that's where that whole Komuro Carey pick comes in as well.
Right, definitely. I mean, people need to be conscious about Japan, the Japanese region. I mean, like as you said, there's so much undiscovered talent in Japan as a whole in Smasher with like very deserving players. I mean, Kamemushi coming out of nowhere, second place
Exactly.
at Evo 2016. Who would have known that we would seen a Mega Man at Evo, like at top 8?
I know, right?
Or like how Abadango pushed the Mewtwo meta, winning Pound 2016.
Yes.
Like, it's so crazy and it's so like aspiring that these Japanese players are putting in the work and expanding the meta for the whole community as well. And I was saying, like, whenever I always tell people, hey, look out for the Japanese vines, man, because when you see them, stuff's about to go down.
Yep, exactly, man. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, gonna wrap up this interview with some closing statements. After viewing pools and seeding that you guys have for the Zero Saga, I mean, it's utter near perfect that what you guys have. I kind of feel like this is, as you said, kind of how like esports should treat Smashboard in general or as a whole. And like I just want to say it's probably a bold statement, but I mean this is kind of how like Evo should have treated Smashboard this year. Like I want to thank you guys for upping the quality of every Saga event and treating and respecting Smashboard as an admirable game. So I want to give my appreciations to you guys.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Some closing statements. What are some your favorite moments that you would like to share with the viewers that you had on the QGG team?
I would say in terms of like my favorite moments, man, there's just so many, man. I would say probably would be, of course, I mean, Larry's one of my best friends, so for him to actually take in Mexico Saga, that was absolutely incredible. And to be there to cast that whole set, like it was a beautiful set. And I think that the really great thing about it too is just kind of see, you have Zero, who has always been just an unstoppable force. And of course, we had a time period where people were like, "Oh, maybe is he losing it? Is everyone getting better?" and those kind of things. And I definitely felt that it was more so of he wasn't playing to his full capacity. It is a combination of people getting better as well, but I think he also wasn't playing to his full capacity. But I felt during the time in Mexico Saga, I felt like he was kind of playing almost at that level that we're used to seeing like Zero at, just in generally, where he just dominates everybody. And I think Larry kind of stepped up his game at the same time too. And these guys were just going back and forth, man, and it was just absolutely incredible. K-Tar Saga, when it was Pink Fresh versus Mars. Oh my goodness, that was nuts. That was absolutely nuts. Yeah. Oh man, I was popping off in the back, man. I was going ham, dude. It was absolutely beautiful, and I loved because I spent some time with those guys because obviously we had a house for all these KR players. I had to drive them down from Vegas and stuff as well too. So they were talking about these guys like Mars and Pink Fresh are always so talented, and it was just a beautiful moment where both players were just kind of in sync and in tune, and they were feeling the crowd and the energy. And I think there's something special about that SoCal crowd and that like energy, man. And the people just like get into it in the moment. And Pink Fresh played phenomenal. Mars played phenomenal. They were doing stuff. People were just like, "What? Like, what are these guys talk? Where do they get this stuff?"
It was some crazy plays, man. Like
Yeah.
I cause my shout outs to Pink Fresh for like for taking in like winning and showcasing like what Bayonetta has to like offer in terms for like the meta and stuff. And I'm gonna ask you a real serious question here. So, when can we see a Building with Bam episode? I really enjoyed the whole like mix-up, man. Come on, man. I
Yeah, no. All right.
one, man.
Yes. All right. So it is going to happen, man. So like I said before, as a person, I've been doing a lot of studying, and you're trying to still do medicine. I'm looking to actually. I was doing med school in Nigeria, in the University of Lagos, and then I came back here because I wanted to help out there and do some things out there. Right. And I'm still looking at doing medicine. I'm potentially going to go ahead and just try to do UCI med school at a point in time. But what I'm looking at right now is I took a break of school so I can be more focused on this, see where this whole thing goes in terms of putting all my effort there, having all the time that's needed to build 2GG and build a channel and do all those things that follow suit. So that episode, I promise you, episode 2, episode 3, I'm gonna actually have both of them. I have actually already have footage for it. So yeah. So I have footage ready, and I'm gonna release that probably at the end of next week or the week after, the beginning of the week after. So after I cool down from Zero Saga and all those things, but it's gonna happen. And there's some other stuff too. Trust me, it's gonna happen. And I finally have kind of time to sit down and do these things. So I'm actually really, really excited about that too, because I definitely feel that can help people and stuff as well. And that's, like I said before, I really want everyone to have an avenue where they can get in this game as easy as possible, and they can get to about building their, increasing their skill as easy as possible. And that's why I try to make these videos like that. So yeah, that's definitely going to be coming out soon.
Yeah, cool, man. Because like those videos are very helpful for like beginning players and to, like as you said, to develop their skills and stuff. So like I can't wait I can't wait for episode 2 and 3. So thank you, Bam. Appreciate the time for taking this interview. Do you have any shout outs or any closing statements that you'd like to give out?
Yeah, I mean, shout outs to just all the regions out there, just doing ridiculously well. Like you said, you have Smash United, you have VGBC, you have Showdown, you have Turning Locator, still doing incredible stuff. Shout outs to a lot of these analyst stuff too. I did a little kind of interview, just kind of talk with some that I feel personally some of the greatest analysts right now in Smash 4. Kirby Kid, Ninja Link, and Reflex. I had a discussion with them, so shout outs to those guys. If you guys, go ahead, check these guys out on of course they're on Twitter. Reflex has his YouTube channel as well. Kirby Kid is the one, him along with his brother does Serving Smash, the OneSmash.net. That database is absolutely incredible. So if you guys are trying to get better too, there's a lot of stuff in there. And he also made something design oriented, kind of talking about why Smash is so unique, on the bare bones level. And it's definitely some incredible stuff. So just shout out to all those people. Shout outs to the whole community, man. We have done so much. And we have progressed so far. And I know there's things that 2G can do on their end. Other region stuff can do on their end. We can do better. And once we get those things locked down, you look at all the evolution of Smash 4 now. Imagine once we just perfect all the things we need to do with the foundation of Smash 4 in terms of the community. It's going to be so amazing. I'm just so excited for this future. I really feel like the 2017 is going to be an iconic year for Smash as a whole, period. I know we keep getting better and better, but that this up and coming year, I think it's going to change the game for everything.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So yeah, shout out to 2017.
Dude, 2017. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, thank you, man. Appreciate the time. So, where can people find you on any social media platform?
So of course, I make videos on 2G Gaming, so you can find me on there. Of course, you can find me on MSM and Wednesday Night Fights on our Twitch, twitch.tv/2G Gaming. Of course, too, what I'm going to actually be doing, I'm going to actually have a separate channel too for some specific details and stuff as well, so people can see that, and it may not get convoluted with all the tournament stuff too. So you can check me out there at 2GG Bam. And you check me out also on Twitter at 2GG_Bam. Talk to me, man. Always I'm always available to help people out, man. So you have any questions, you have any concerns, you just want to talk about life, I don't care. You can message me. It's perfectly fine, man. I'll do my best to answer anything. So
All right, cool, man. Definitely, we'll have to take you up on that.
mhm.
But yeah, thank you guys for watching this interview with 2GG Bam. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to H Smash Network. This really helps out and motivates me and the Smashboards team to continue on doing these video interviews and the continuous AMA series that we have. So, thank you guys, and catch you guys in the next one.
All right, man. You guys take care.